my back. The kettlebell windmill is an amazing exercise when performed correctly, but a lot of people mistake this exercise for a side bend, and while there are core exercises that incorporate lateral flexion of the spine, the kettlebell windmill is not one of them. And when treated as such, it can lead to some serious back pain.
I broke my back.
So, if you want to maximize the core strengthening, shoulder stabilizing, and thoracic mobilizing benefits of this amazing exercise, stick around to the end of this video to find out how to execute the perfect kettlebell windmill every time. Let's dive in, shall we? First things first, we need to talk about the stance during the kettlebell windmill, because it's a lot more narrow than what people typically think. And the reason most beginners start with their feet so wide is because a wider base of support provides more stability through our legs. However, with this exercise, we really want to challenge our core stability and rely less on our lead leg. And we accomplish this, by the way, with a hip shift toward the leg that is on the same side the kettlebell is loaded on. In other words, if we are holding the kettlebell in our right hand, we would shift our right hip over the right foot. But we need to address one minor detail here. If you're holding the kettlebell in your right hand, your toes should be pointed 45 degrees to the left before initiating your hip shift. You know your stance is correct if after shifting your hip is either directly over the top of the ankle or slightly outside of the ankle. If you end up with your hip in front of the ankle when you are pouring too much weight into your lead leg, which oftentimes means you just need to narrow up your stance, I would suggest starting at hip width and making any necessary adjustments from there. But just because you have a good hip shift doesn't necessarily mean you're ready for the windmill just yet. Remember what Iron Mike was saying at the beginning of the video about maintaining a neutral spine?
Spinal.
The hip shift is only one component of this. The real trick is performing the following two movement patterns simultaneously. One is a hip hinge, and two is thoracic rotation without letting your chest drop. The hip hinge portion of this is just like a hip hinge for an RDL. The only difference is now you're hinging at a 45-degree angle in the direction your toes are pointing. And it's super helpful to imagine driving your femur through your butt cheek on the hip shift side. But how do we combine this with thoracic rotation to execute this movement as smoothly as possible? It's all about where your eyes go, which I know sounds weird, but stick with me here. Once you've shifted your hips and initiated your hinge, you're simply going to direct your eyes to the kettlebell you're holding overhead and fixate on the bell. As your cervical spine rotates, your thoracic spine or upper back is going to begin to follow. The goal is to only hinge as far as you can while maintaining a flat back and no further, while rotating far enough through your upper back so your shoulders are stacked over top of one another, just like they would be in a T-plank rotation. Full speed, the kettlebell windmill looks something like this. Kettlebell is in right hand, so toes point 45 degrees to the left. Hip begins to shift as you hinge and rotate through the upper back, so shoulders are stacked over top of one another in a T shape. And you stop as soon as you feel like you can't go any lower while maintaining a neutral spine, before returning to the starting position. But there's still one major problem. What about those who don't yet have the prerequisite mobility through the upper back to stabilize a kettlebell overhead? Is there a way that we can still practice the mechanics without putting our shoulders at risk? And the answer is actually yes. You can simply hold the kettlebell in the bottom hand instead, so you can learn the mechanics of the movement while you work on your mobility in the meantime. And just like that, you've mastered the kettlebell windmill in less than 5 minutes. Now, while the kettlebell windmill is indeed one of my favorite exercises for building a strong, stable core, unfortunately, it's not enough on its own to build a well-rounded core strength. So if you truly want to build functional core strength of epic proportions utilizing the kettlebell, click on this video here, and I'll see you on the next one.